Hi guys, karibuni sana to the show. This is Chat with Kathy. My name is Kathy Njao and I'm your host. So this week I want us to talk about a somewhat sensitive subject, suicidal thoughts and how to cope with them. And it's sensitive, I know, to some people. And I really will not want to trigger somebody intentionally, but I think it's nice if we at least try and talk about it kidogo tu. I of course do not have the answers. I keep on saying I'm not a trained medical professional, maybe therapist, maybe psychiatrist, but at least I believe I have something small that could help. Take this as advice from a friend, and let's talk about how we can deal with suicidal thoughts or how we can cope in that moment. Okay, join me as I take you through this. I have a few points, like 5 or 6, that you can look at, throughout this show. So karibuni sana. So I want us to get an overview kidogo. If you have a pen and a paper, this will be a very good time to start writing. And first things first, let us see. Could we try at least getting through today instead of focusing on the future? If you could try and focus on just today. Leo ni Friday. Focus on just hiyo siku tu. Wacha kufikiria kesho, wacha kufikiria 10 years to come. Just focus on getting through Friday first. That will be good. That will be a good thing to do. Usi stress kuhusu hapo mbele. And it will also be nice when you're feeling suicidal, or you feel like you're getting there. Please talk to someone about how you're feeling. It could be a friend, it could be a therapist. Here I won't lie to you, a therapist is very important. I know kama leo chile video ingine ya when to go seek therapy, I told you anytime you have suicidal thoughts, please don't even think twice. Get help, professional help. Please talk to this person when you're feeling like this. Immediately call them. Ama there's that friend you know, somebody who can help you make see things in another way. Please call that somebody and talk to them. You could, whenever you it is hard, I know, but you could at least try and perform other activities. It could be taking a walk, could be exercise, whatever it is, to try at least and distract yourself. And when you're really in danger and you feel like, okay, this time I can't take it anymore, this is hard, but I think the best thing would to try and call a health professional and tell them, by the way, penye imefika, I can't take it anymore. Just call them so that they can help you through that feeling or through that period. That was just an overview, points kama mbili tatu that you should have at the back of your mind. Now let us go into the detailed part of it. How do you help yourself at that point, at that moment where unasikia sasa umefika mwisho? How do you help yourself? Point number 1, it might sound insane, but it actually makes sense when you look at it from another point. Please do not make a decision today. You don't need to act on that thought immediately. When you feel like I want to just not be here, the world will be better off without me, my parents will be better off if I was gone, the world will be a better place without me. Do not act on that thought immediately. You can always make that decision next week, next month, or next year. It doesn't have to be at that point. Please do not make that decision today. Unaweza, please jua tu kuna siku nyingine ya ku make your decision yenye si leo. Focus on getting, I have said it, focus on getting through today. Focus on getting through the next 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Wachana na maneno ya 10 years from now. Once you do that, at least I think it will help you calm down kidogo. When you start on focusing on what next in the next 10 minutes instead of future, if you still feel like I'm sure probably it might not be the first time you've had suicidal thoughts. You had them and you didn't actually act on them. You can always do that again. I mean, my point here is you had these suicidal thoughts last year. You had these suicidal thoughts last month. You didn't act on them. So this time round should not be any different. Do not act on them today. You can always, if you still want to, just make the decision next year. Okay? It doesn't have to be right now. That is one. Two, it is important that you have a crisis plan. You know, a crisis plan is, this is what I want to do. This is what I will do if I get to this point. You either make that crisis plan on your own, ama a therapist could help you make a crisis plan. Now, when you have a crisis plan, is what you follow when you're feeling suicidal. You have to have one. It is important, by the way. Make sure either Google how to make a crisis plan, ziko online, ama ambia therapist wako akusaidie ku make a crisis plan, so that when you feel like this, you will know what to do and you make sure you follow that plan. Okay. The next point is to look into your crisis box. When you're tunaandika notes, crisis box ni nini? Now this crisis box is something that is very close and personal to you. It could be a box, literally a box to carton kakona maybe picha zako ukiwa mdogo ama picha za pet yako, you know, these things that make you feel happier, ama your favorite CD, a movie or something. When you go through these things, unaanza ku feel good. You start appreciating yourself a little bit more. Ni picha zako kwa mdogo, your first pair of shoes ukiwa mdogo, ni tu vitu tudogo tu that are very sentimental to you. It could actually be anything. Maybe a ring that your best friend gave you, or the first top that you bought when you got your own money, kakitu tu kadogo, or a pen maybe mtu alikugift and it meant so much to you. Please look through that box during that time, and I'm sure to some extent it could help you get out of that feeling. Now if you do not have a crisis box, it is important that you have one. Please make one. It's nice. It will help. Now the third point here is being aware of your triggers. Now we know what a trigger is. We always talked about triggers here on the show, but let me say it as triggers are those things which will make you feel worse. You know, you're already suicidal. So a trigger is that thing that could actually make you feel worse. If it was up to, on a scale of 1 to 10, you were at 6, then a trigger will throw you to 10 immediately. It could be certain music. Maybe ukisikiza such kind of music, it just makes the situation worse. It could be photos that you look at and they make you feel worse. Ama a movie, when I watch a specific film and it just throws you off balance. Recognize huto to triggers pole tu. With time you are able to know them. Unajua si unajijua tu, you will know what will put you off. Ama a certain line of conversation could actually trigger you. You should make sure that you have identified your triggers. Then when you identify them, you try maybe your level best to avoid them. If it is possible, just avoid them. Ukijua this is the kind of music that does this, you try as much as you can to avoid them. If any conversation inakaa hivi, please avoid. It is important that you know what your triggers are. Then when you have known them, apart from avoiding them, please talk to somebody about these things. It could be your best friend or a close family member, and your therapist also, because at this point I am assuming you are working with a trained professional. Tell them, these I think are my triggers. Then from there, if it is your friend, atakusaidia maybe kuzimanage ama kuziavoid, and your therapist will tell you, in case this happens, this is what to do. A therapist will give you a way out that is not suicidal. And the next point will be staying away from drugs and alcohol. It would also be nice to stay away from drugs and alcohol. I don't want to assume this is very obvious, but it's a bit obvious. Now when you do drugs and when you do alcohol, first and foremost, drugs and alcohol are going to impair your judgment. They mess with that part of the brain that is responsible for making sure that you make sane decisions. Now when you're drunk or when you're high on whatever it is you use, it will be very easy for you to act on suicidal thoughts when you're high or drunk compared to when you're sober. If you know you have a tendency of getting suicidal, then wachana na pombe kabisa, wachana na bangi, wachana na madawa kabisa. Try to stay as sober as you can, because when you're sober, you're able to make sane decisions. You're able to think your decision through, compared to when you're drunk. That's, you see, not hata suicide peke yake, hata mtu maybe akiendesha gari. Why do you think some people cause accidents? Because unaona kuna mtaro, ukomelewa pombe inakuambia wewe tutavuka tu, but if you were sober hauwezi fanya decisions kama hizo, you see. So if you know you have a tendency of feeling that way, please wachana na pombe, wachana na drugs. They are not the, you know, people talk to tell me it makes you escape the reality. Of course there's but at the end of the day, look at it from an angle of the consequences that come after that. You may feel good for a minute or 2 or 10, then what next after that? Feeling good does not mean that the problem actually disappears. It in a cover tu kidogo, then after 10 minutes we're back there again. So if you could avoid being drunk and high and actually deal with the problem through seeking professional help, that will make this so much better and probably so much easier for you. Again, other drugs cause hallucinations. You know, the very strong drugs, they cause hallucinations, and others give you that you're feeling too ya kuwa high. What is pakua bang, there is stronger hard drugs kama cocaine or whatever. These are actually not good for you, because those feelings zenye zinakuja na hizo drugs, acting on impulsivity, ako ka impulse tu, uko mahali tu, maybe mnalewa rooftop and you feel like I can jump from 10th floor. We see what happens when you're high, utaruka, then what, then you die, you know. If you're sober, I'm sure how to make decisions kama hizo. Okay, next thing, you go to a safe place, and this I think for me feels like it actually makes a bit more sense. Before you actually, when you're calling your friend or your therapist or part of a support group, going to a safe place could actually be good for you. It is the first thing I think that you should do. And here, a safe place here is, it's not what is safe for everyone, it is what you feel is safe for you. And you could be in the house, maybe kwa nyumba, sitting room might not be a safe place for you, but your bedroom could be. Unajua pale penye unasikia uko comfortable. You could actually, maybe unajuanga, you know, if I go to nyumba ya Faith ama ya kina nani, I will feel better. It could be a safe place for you. Call your friend and tell them, Nani, I'm on my way, or I feel like I should come and stay over for a few minutes, you know. And this has to be somebody who won't mind, you know, a close friend, mtu mwenye anaelewa what exactly it is you're going through, and they know that they are actually your safe place, such that kimwambia I want to come over, hakutakuwa na issues. These safe places are things that make you feel comfortable. There are people who like reading, so for you maybe you feel like the library is a safe place for you. It's good. Enda hapo. Before you actually do something else, just toka kwenye mko, enda hapo, enda library, enda kwa rafiki yako, go run to your bedroom, somewhere you feel you're safe and you're comforted. And again, you should, as much as unaenda kwa safe place yako, please avoid things that you could use to harm yourself. Kama ni pills, make sure haziko karibu. Kama ni wembe ama kisu, make sure haziko karibu, because again, if you're in your safe place and they're still there, you see, there's a chance that you might actually be tempted to use those things. Don't stay around such things. I know a friend who tells me they can't stay around pills because of suicidal thoughts, and I totally understand them. So what they do is that work under medication, yeah. So what they do is that the rest of the medicine wanaeka mbali, but ile wanatumia iko hapo. It's good because unajua lazima kunywa dawa kama usikipo, but the fact that unaweza kuwa tempted kukunywa hizo zingine zote unaziwekanga mbali, somewhere reachable, unajua unaweza zipata, but tena si rahisi sana kuzipata when you're feeling suicidal. So stay away from these things that you could actually use to harm yourself. Na kama ni dawa ama wembe, pea hata mtu mwingine akushikia. Sawa. So apart from going to a safe place, I think it will be nice when you talk to other people. You could give your best friend a call, or your therapist, or just somebody else. It's important because maybe hata wanaweza kusaidia kujidistract. And if not for distraction, maybe unataka kuongea about particularly how you're feeling. It is nice to remember that patience is important. It is important for you to be patient when these people are getting you the help that you need. You could actually call me and tell me, Kate, niko na pills hapa nataka kumeza, niko na Panadol 20 nataka kumeza na pombe hapa. At that point you tell me, I could just, I don't know what to do. But if you give me like 5 minutes or 3 to actually think what to do, that will be nice. It is nice when you call somebody and tell them, this is what I feel like. Please remember to be patient while they get you the help that you actually need. They might not be in a position to help. Kama mimi ukiniambia, I'm not a therapist, I wouldn't know how to help you snap out of it. But there's a way I can reach a therapist. Nimwambie, I think this one needs help, and immediately I'll be able to connect you na yeye. You see, so remember to be very patient while you're talking to another person when they get you the help that you need. If you don't want me knowing because of my friends or your family knowing, please make sure umeongea na therapist wako directly without kupitia kwa sisi wote. We don't have to know if it makes you uncomfortable. If it makes you feel like tutakujudge, si lazima tujue. Ongea na therapist akusaidie ukiwa tu uko. You don't always have to know. Be around other people. Tulikuwa tumesema you could talk to other people, but there's a point you feel like you cannot talk. Now it's okay to just be around other people. Maybe kwa bedroom na sitting room kuna watu, enda sitting room okay. You don't have to talk, you don't have to tell them anything, just go be around other people. You know why it's nice? It's nice because if you had an urge to actually act when you're feeling, at that point penye kuna watu unaweza shindwa. If it's not in the house, enda tu hata kama ni hapo nje kwa park ama library vile tulikuwa tumesema, ama hapo kwa barabara. It might actually help you process what you're feeling instead of acting on it ukiwa peke yako. You know, when you're alone it is easier to act, but mkiwa kwa watu could become a bit hard. Also, as hard as it sounds, distract yourself. At that point I know unafikirianga, I cannot focus on anything else apart from the suicidal thoughts that I have. But now if you will try very hard to distract yourself, it could actually work. And distract here could maybe do something you like. Try getting a book and read, hard as it is. Try watching a movie, maybe you unapenda a comedy, maybe that will make you laugh. Try very hard. It's not very easy. This I know it's not very easy, by the way, but you could try. If you paint or you draw, get to it. You could sing, you could listen to music, just whatever it is. Ama just end up when you play with your cat or your dog. Try and distract yourself. Hata kama ni ngumu aje, it will take a lot of energy and focus, but it is important that you do. In the meantime, when you're distracting yourself, see, utakuwa maybe umepigia mtu and you guys talk, but by the time wanakuongelesha umedistract. It is also important that you think about your strengths and other positive things about you. It is inakusaidia to actually maybe appreciate yourself and love yourself a little bit more during that period, during that time that you're feeling, you know, intensely. Yeah, it is nice to at least focus on the good things about yourself. Also, at the end of the day, it is good to make a list. Kadogo tu, what did I do today that made me feel happy? Maybe nilimwagilia maua maji and it made you feel good. Or I have been working on this and leo nimemaliza. Just the small winnings, ziandike tu. At the end of the day, that day that you will need them, you remember, today I achieved this, today I achieved that. It will make you feel so much better. Also, I think it's nice to exercise. I am lazy at exercising, but you don't have to be lazy. Exercise always has a good effect on you. It releases the feel-good hormones that you need to actually feel good. Tembea. Exercise doesn't have, si lazima upige gym. Tembea, cycle if you can. Tembea uko tu kwa estate yenu ukiangalia watu. Chukua baiskeli. Take your dog for a walk. Whatever it is you do. Just exercise tu kidogo, usikae tu. And it is important to also try and relax. You relax by very many things. What I do to relax might not be what you do to relax. Me, I will read to relax. There are people who can't read to relax. It depends. But there's still only basic for everyone. You could take a walk. You could watch a very nice, a documentary or something on YouTube. You could go out and take nice food that you actually like. Tu vitu tu tudogo zenye zinakusaidia ku feel better. Apart from that, I don't know. This many people find it very annoying, but I think it's nice. Please think of the people that you leave behind. I know mnakunja sura, but I think it's nice. For me, I'm a mom. I think if I got to that point, thinking about my daughter would actually make me hold on for a minute. Thinking about my parents would actually make me hold on for a minute. Thinking about my best friend, or the people you can actually think about, and maybe it will make you slow down your dog and call somebody. It is nice. It is nice to at least think of them. And I know at that point your thoughts are always like, this world will be better without me, my family will be better without me, if I went nobody would notice. Uto to thoughts ninajua vile tunakujanga, but I am here to tell you, by the way, those thoughts are not true. If you went, you would leave a gap. There are friends too who love you, family. I mean, if you will not hear, this world will not be better. If anything, we will be missing you, because you're important to us. In one way or another, you matter and you are important. There is a reason you were put in this world. Now you living will leave a gap. So don't believe those thoughts. Don't. Try very hard to make sure that you don't believe those thoughts. And finally, I think it will be good to get emotional support. Emotional support, you can get it from a loved one, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife. It is nice. Or even your spiritual leader. Call them past that. Mwambie this. They will get you the emotional support that you need. Maybe a sister. Unaweza mcall mwambie, I'm not I'm a bro. Emotional support is good. Apart from the professional one, ile ya therapy, you're a professional too. Kuna ile tu emotion. You need a hug, maybe. You just need somebody to hold your hand and tell you, by the way, we will do this together and we'll be fine. It is good. And and I think that almost summarizes everything I wanted to talk about suicidal thoughts. But this is not it. It is not exhaustive. It was just a few points here and there to help us cope with our day-to-day life. If you feel that it has helped, that is me feeling so glad, and I really hope it has helped. So I don't think there is much to talk about, unless next time we expound. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode. It is a sensitive one, and maybe unaweza feel I have not covered it as much as I needed to, but I think I have tried. So I hope you will share this video so that somebody who needs the help can actually know what to do. Mtu tu asikie tu akuwe encouraged. It's nice to, if it does not apply to you, it applies to the next person, and that is why I keep on saying it is nice to share these videos. Post link to mtu aone. At the end of the day, this is what we are all working towards, for us to be better mentally, especially. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. Till next time, stay safe and help your friends in case they need this kind of help. Please be accommodative, accommodate these people who need help. So till next time, don't forget to subscribe, guys. Bye.